What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream around here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I wanted to share some news with you, and that is I am back in Wild and pretty much spending all of my time there. Now, I know I made a video maybe just a couple of weeks ago talking about how Modern is back, and they'd added the liquidity bots, which were great, right? I enjoyed them, and I still think that it's a great addition. Hopefully, they'll continue to expand that out. But overall, I've said this before, and if you go back in my history, even before I made that Modern video, I made the video talking about how I had gone exclusively to Wild, or I was planning to go exclusively to Wild because of the glint. And that is the major thing here. So I'm not as worried, once again, about making a ton of SPS, because the difference is, sure, it's significant, especially over a long enough time frame. But if you remember, I topped up my SPS a little while back. I am earning a bunch through the LPs, through node licenses, through holding soul keep packs, right? So I'm not as worried about the SPS. Right now, I'm more focused on the glint, and the difference, even with the 50% bump in Modern, is just staggering. So you can see here, right? I'm only, less than 3 days in. I was about to say 4 days, but we're about 3 to 4 days in. We'll call it like 25% of the way through the season. And I've already got 55,000 glint on my season end loot, which means I've already earned 55,000 glint, mainly, just playing in bronze. I'm getting, on average, 777 per win here. And I'm getting 1/3 of that, 268 in Modern. And the thing is, in Modern, it's become difficult again, right? It's not like I can jump up to Diamond. I'm playing in Gold, and even though my boost is 21x, right? Like, I can't even remember the last time I won. So here, perfect example, right? This is why I left Modern, because I played, I think, the first day after the season. I was like, yeah, this sucks. I don't like losing that much, right? But there, I guess I got like 390 glint there, but it looks like I had some promo cards in the mix. Either way, the point is, I'm able to make maybe 1/3 of the SPS per win in Wild. I come across way easier teams in Wild. And yes, I'm still actively botting my account because I just haven't been able to play all of the energy per day. I mean, I probably could, but I shouldn't, right? I just have a lot of other things going on right now. And so therefore I let the bot play anything over 3 or 4 energy, so that when I come in, I can, knock out a couple quick games here. And, it's funny because I was talking about this recently. But it's like, this is the casual nature in which I can kind of approach Splinterlands. Now, if that ever went away, then it goes away, right? And I would happily play, not bot, but I would happily play whatever league made the most sense. And in the long term, right, I do want to buy Rebellion, but I don't know if Rebellion prices don't come down. I don't know that I'm going to go super heavy into Rebellion. It will depend on what the next set or the next core set afterwards will look like if I want to stay in Modern. So part of me is just looking at how do I wild proof my deck? And again, I'm not buying any Untamed cards, but it's just I want to be able to play comfortably here and feel like I can do decently well. Now, obviously, we know there's a lot of rating inflation, and the one thing that I'm counting on, and don't take this as any kind of official announcement. I have no idea what the team is up to or how they're planning to handle this. I'm just going based off of the public comments that Matt left, in the sense of the CP, adding the CP requirement back in to gate people from certain leagues. I think that would not be the appropriate way to go, mainly because I agree with Matt's response, saying that even though I voted for it, right, Matt's response was to bring in the low card penalties. And again, I have a mostly max deck, and if I'm spending most of my time either in Diamond, or I guess now I'm in Champion, I'd be happy with that change, right? Because sure, I probably wouldn't be able to make it a Champion as easily, but if most of my cards are maxed for Gold, then I should be getting full rewards in Diamond. And if I am able to make it to Champ, well, then I do have a lot of max cards, and I'll take the low card hit. And if it's something where I'm just like, you know what, I really should max this card out because I use it a lot and I'm getting this hit. If the card prices stay low, which I'm expecting to continue for a while, well, then I'll go in and slowly level up my deck, which is what I've been doing, right? Here and there, I've been focusing on the summoners. I haven't even finished all the legendary summoners yet. I have one more, and then I'll probably focus in on some of the legendary cards that I use, just because those are rock bottom prices. And then we'll focus on maybe some of the newer cards. But either way, all I'm saying is that I'm back in Wild. I'm enjoying it. Modern just became too tough. And at the end of the day, glint is way more important to me right now because I still don't have all of my Soulbound cards maxed yet. And I would like to be in a position, just because I'm expecting those cards to actually have decent value when they are unlockable. I would like to be in a decent position where I don't have to spend a ton of money to max out those cards. That is the idea for me, because I primarily just don't want to, again, I'm being frugal here, right? I'm choosing where to spend my hard-earned capital for gaming, and I'm not even maxing out my Chaos cards. So why would I go and max out my Soulbound cards? This is the time, until that next Soulbound set comes out, this is the time that I should be going in. And the team has done a fantastic job of creating fantastic, or not fantastic, but just like great items in the shop. I don't know how else to say it. I was gonna say personalized items in the shop, but it's not really personalized. It's just specific to what you want in terms of the card rarity draws. And you can still go back and do the chest. But even though I did that 100 chests, it's not like I regret it. That all that extra energy was actually kind of fun. But I probably won't be doing that until I max out my cards. And I'm still a decent ways away from that. But if my estimation is correct, and again, this is just me setting my own timeline here. My hope is that we will see the new Soulbound set by Q3, or July, ideally, which is the first month of Q3. Again, I have no idea. The team has not given any timelines. I made that video a little while back talking about like the timelines that I'm expecting us to do, right? Land 1.6 for May, which so far has been the case, right? The trading hub and then the prefix titles are what they had planned. I'm hoping that they'll be able to knock out a bunch of the other NPE stuff in June, which would be like the one-click set rentals and the onboarding tutorial system, which once we get in the second half of the year, that's when I'm hoping we can get it. And again, July is probably an early estimate. I don't know, maybe they surprise us and give it to us in June. That'd be cool too. But if that's the case, that actually means even less time for me to go in and max out my Soulbound cards. So that is the primary goal for me as a gamer first, right? In terms of this and just wanting to get those cards because I don't want to have to pay for them later. At the end of the day, I'm good with my SPS bag. If we go to the moon, that's awesome. If we don't, it is what it is, right? And with SPS being so low right now, I can't even justify playing in Modern for those gains, right? Because I would rather just buy more SPS at this point, which I'm not. But again, I have a lot of faucets, so I'm taking advantage of those. So hopefully this makes sense to folks. Yes, I am flip-flopping, but I do try to give my reasons every single time that I do. And I'm curious to know if you guys are feeling the same way. Now, again, I'm waiting for them to change up the reward structure, right? Add in the low card penalties, because that would actually probably increase the amount of SPS I'm able to get if all those level 1 card bots start earning way less. It doesn't matter how many games they're playing, right? Everything is kind of finite unless they're buying more energy, at which point that's good for the ecosystem overall. But if that does come into play, I think the rewards for Wild could actually go up significantly for people playing at the higher levels that have the cards to play at the higher levels and get the full rewards, which will make it even more enticing for me to stay in Wild and maybe even pull some others from Wild too until they can get Modern fixed in terms of liquidity and just getting a wider spread of the type of decks that are out there. So that's all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.